Thank you very much for staying on the marketplace. Welcome back. Now, increase the amount of dollars supplied to commercial banks to halt the cedi's depreciation. That's the advice coming from economist Dr. Eric Osesibi to the Bank of Ghana. The local currency continues to depreciate against the US dollar. This is despite assurances from the Bank of Ghana of having the required reserves to halt the free fall in value of the cedi. It has witnessed some sustained depreciation over the past 10 days and closed trading yesterday at around 4 Ghana cedis, 63 pesos. Dr. Sibi tells Joy Business the Bank of Ghana should see this intervention as a short-term measure to stabilize the situation.
That's a short-term measure that is required by the central bank, you know, because fine, the long-term measure will always be to promoting export, diversify, and bring in more export. But in the short term, one, you need to either use interest rates, you know, trying to increase your returns on domestic assets, so that instead of people speculating on the currency, they'll rather buy the assets, bonds and others. Now, the problem the central bank is having is because the treasury bill rate is very low, you know, people are not getting enough alternative high yield instruments, and so they are speculating on the dollar, you know. So one of the ways the central bank can do to try to stem that, I will not say that the central bank should increase the monetary policy rate nor the interest rates, because that is also very detrimental to growth. But if you have enough buffer, if you have enough reserves, I think that you have the solution within the short term is well known to you, and so you just pump in a bit more, and then making sure that there's enough reserves in them, enough supply to cushion whatever excess demand that comes up. It's essentially.
Some say that for the first time, the reserve position of the Bank of Ghana is quite good.
It's good. Yeah.
What is stopping them from the necessary interventions? I engaged the commercial banks, and what they are telling me that the Bank of Ghana is not on the market, and even they're doing $4 million, and that's peanuts for all these banks to have to finance their imports. Why do you think that the Bank of Ghana is being very skeptical or reserved in their approach, despite having all these reserves? Do you think they are building up for the rainy season next quarter or something?
I said this last week in an interview that I granted, that I think that the best way for the central bank to shore up the currency, to stop the currency from depreciation, will be just to be in the market, you know, to sell more. Of course, the selling more is not sustainable, but looking at our economic cycle, you know, it's very cyclical. You know, around this time, getting to the tail end of the year, and in the first quarter of the year, you often will see high demand pressures. You understand, the demand pressures will be high. And so if you understand the dynamics in the economy and being so lucky, having enough reserves that has taken you beyond the threshold of 3 months of import cover, then you are at a very good position, you know, to making sure that you do not allow the city to depreciate, because the implication, the ripple effect of the currency depreciation is enormous on the economy. Like I mentioned, the pass-through of the currency depreciation to inflation is high, and inflation now is everything. If prices begin to rise, it will throw everything out of gear. You know, all the projections that are being made will be thrown out of gear, because the central bank has to immediately intervene and adjust the monetary policy rate up. And that will then serve signal for all the other interest rates to also begin to rise. And so you don't want that to happen.
Away from that, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, GPHA, wants the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority to initiate investigations into alleged higher charges on imported goods as a result of the implementation of the paperless system at the ports. He made a call in an interview with Joy Business's Ebenezer Sabute at the opening of the 8th African Shippers' Day celebration in Accra under the theme Trade Facilitation and its Impact on Africa's Industrialization Agenda. There's more in the following report.
Some freight forwarders and traders, including spare parts dealers, have alleged the cost of doing business at the ports has unduly shot up since the paperless system was introduced in September. Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Paul Ansa, explains this may need to be investigated as the cost is rather expected to be reduced.
Please, we are able to introduce appropriate remedies to offset that negative consequences of the initial introduction of the paperless. But then if you ask yourselves, has customs increased their duties? It is no. They have not increased their taxes. Port Authority has not increased its taxes. So if at this time some people are saying they are paying more than they used to be, then we need to investigate to see what was being paid. Were they paying the appropriate amount of money, to clear a container, for example? Were they paying appropriate? Maybe they might have been paying the handling charges, all right. So our handling charges, there's no way anybody can reduce it or shortchange the organization, But we may not be able to say so for other payments that they might have been paying, So if you were paying, let's say, 20,000 cedis or $20,000 for a 40-footer you were clearing, and now it is about $30,000. Why that jump? Must be investigated.
Mr. Ansah says his outfit will also form a committee to assess the impact of the paperless operations on businesses at the port.
Now, what we are doing now is to establish an oversight team or committee that will meet every weekend, like every Friday, to review the performance of the paperless in the current week, so that when the review is done, whatever measures will have to be introduced to perfect it, so that the challenges or the limitations of the current week would not be passed on to the next week, but we will be able to identify appropriate remedies to address the challenges of the current week, so that it will not be moved into the next week.
So when are we going to have this done?
No, by close of this month, we are supposed to establish that.
Through the effort of the port authorities, shipping lines and other state agencies waived the cost on delayed goods as a result of the paperless system, a development expected to reduce the cost of clearing goods.
You're still live on the marketplace. And moving on, brand owners of McVitie's Biscuits Pladdies, the global biscuit, chocolate and confectionery company which owns the iconic brands Godiva, McVitie's and Oka, has launched a national consumer promotion in Ghana to celebrate the 125th year anniversary of its much loved McVitie's. Now, the McVitie's digestive biscuits. Pladdies recently announced the consumer promotion at a media launch event held in Accra, Ghana, and Territory Sales Manager of Ghana, Patrick Osei Edusa, now joins me in the studio for some conversation on this promotion. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the marketplace.
Good afternoon.
Now, tell me first, how is it like doing business in Ghana?
Yes, thank you very much, and thank you to your cherished viewers. For the last 40 years, the brand McVitie's found its way into the Ghanaian market, and I would say it has been a pleasant joy for the company to have been here, in that we've been able to give more employment to most women, most men, and for that matter, the company sees it as a joy and as a, giving back to society. We are here to, launch this very important, consumer promo that was launched last Tuesday.
Now tell me, what McVitie's, is it really officially represented in Ghana?
Yes. I would say for the last 40 years, since we found our way into the Ghanaian market, we've been able to, increase our lines to 24 SKUs, that different, packaging. And for the last, 3 to 4 years, we have been increasing our number of, lines. And I would say that it has been a very interesting, time being in Ghana.
Now, what about the promotion that you are organizing?
Yes. The brand Original McVitie Digestive is 125 years this year. And in a way of showing our love, showing our, our gratefulness to the Ghanaian biscuit consumers, we launched this promotion to enable us reward the biscuit lovers of some amazing, prizes, ranging from cash to airtime, prizes.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Now tell me, what about local participation in your business? How has it been like?
Yes, I can say that we are proud that we have about 200, distributors nationwide who pick our stocks and they distribute it to the various retail outlets in Ghana. The local dealer whom we have been working with employs over 100 young Ghanaians who distribute through vans to these various retail outlets scattered around the country. So in terms of employment opportunities, we've been able to offer so much to the Ghanaian populace, and we are proud of this achievement.
I believe this coinciding with the Yuletide festivities, which will be celebrated very soon. Any special, packages apart from the promotion that you are organizing for your customers?
Yes, of course. We can assure the various, biscuit lovers that anywhere you find yourself, grab any of our products, and certainly there are amazing, rewards, amazing prices that you can be assured of. Most of the outlets will reduce the prices of our brands so as to enable many Ghanaians to be able to acquire and get any of the SKUs that we have in the
Now you have in your hand one type of McVitie's. I know there are various brands.
Yes.
Which ones are more commonly patronized?
Yes, like I said, we have 24 lines, or we have 24 products in the Ghanaian market, and this promotion certainly is based on this very promotional pack called the Digestive Portion Pack. So this is what we are using for the consumer promo this year.
And not the other one?
Not the other one, this very one.
Okay.
This very 40 grams, package.
Okay. Why is this so?
We believe, many people think that McVitie's you only caters for the rich, for the topmost social classes, and we want to come to assure the whole populace that hey, McVitie's can also be be bought within the means of every pocket. So we've launched this very line, so that at least we can reach out to every pocket in every Ghanaian home as well.
All right.
How can we have this mass product?
Sure. Finally, what is the way forward? For McVitie's?
Yes, we're having plans of setting up our own factory here in Ghana, and Ghanaians should be looking forward to having the product produced right here in Ghana. And we can assure you that we are going to give local, content in terms of employment opportunities for most of our Ghanaian, youngsters.
Do you have timelines for this particular assurance?
I will say within the next 5-6 years, they plan to be, fully operational. Okay. And we assure the Ghanaian population that the original loved McVitie's biscuits will be produced here in Ghana.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dusa, for your time.
It's a pleasure having you.
And that was the territory manager for McVitie's Biscuits, Mr. Patrick Dusa, who has been sharing some of the celebration or some participation of the 125th anniversary of McVitie's in Ghana. Away from that, the Ghana Chamber of Commerce and Industry, GPHA, will in 2018 be focusing on programs aimed at improving the quality of service and productivity of local businesses. This was made known by the president of the chamber, Nana Apj Dankawoso, who has stated that annual business awards will give way to such initiative process. Here's more in this report.
The Chamber Business Awards 2016 is an initiative of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry to celebrate the very best and finest Ghanaian businesses and personalities who have demonstrated excellence in business practice. President of the Chamber, Nana Apj Dankawoso, outlines what will go into the awards.
From time to time, some groups like the associations come to us. They are also members of the chamber. Freight and forwarders, for example, freight forwarders are members, they are members of the chamber, and then other associations. So we open it up, and 800 companies registered or applied for the to become awardees for the for this program. Out of that, it was shortlisted, and 60 of them qualified because there are, qualifying or qualified criteria set. We're talking about compliance of the tax and other things. And so out of that, 60 were listed, and they were called upon to provide evidence of payment of taxes, evidence of corporate social responsibilities, and what have you. So out of that, 16 came out of the competition.
The award ceremony slated for 25th November at the banquet hall of the State House will see 800 invited guests expected to grace the occasion, including top government officials. The president of the Chamber of Commerce noted the awards will preempt a special business program to help boost the quality of business in the country.
We also thought of having a special awards and that has about 7 of them to members, and then 3 of them to non-members, to the private sector. So these were how we selected companies for these awards. So you could see that some of them could, at a point, were getting, maybe they will get 2 awards, because I don't know who have been selected for the 16, right? So if the person or that company gets the award for the special awards, and then is selected for or gets through the 16 competitive, it means that the person will have 2 awards.
The Chamber of Commerce will utilize the services of a reputable accounting firm to supervise the nomination and selection of award winners.
Now, a Ghanaian-based international trader is calling on government to step up its efforts at ensuring that the Made in Ghana campaign achieves desired results. According to Brandina Jagba, an entrepreneur and producer of African wares, government should formulate a policy that will compel local producers to exhibit their Made in Ghana products at various international events globally. She lamented the hassle one goes through to get their products exhibited during such events.
Government institutions, when they have conferences, they don't give us the chance to exhibit and promote Made in Ghana way. Meanwhile, our president is fighting hard, talking about job creation. Yes, so the people around him don't care. They care less about what the president is saying. Because when we go out to approach them, especially the CEO and other government institutions, they just tell us, oh, when you are into Made in Ghana, it does not go in line with what they are doing. Meanwhile, they have to create a chance for us in order to promote what we have in Ghana. When people come from other countries, do you expect them to carry their money away? Let them spend it in Ghana so that we can help develop our country. But yet still, they say it does not go along. And you see the people in the street looking for what you people reject. It's like the stone that the builders rejected has become a cornerstone. I quite remember during one of the ECOWAS presidential conference, and they refused me. I saw the same president, the bodyguards in Osu Street. Meanwhile, we are bringing the thing to their doorsteps to prevent them from walking in the street. What if somebody just shoot a president, they say he comes to Ghana? No, let's avoid it and create a little opportunity that we have to give them a souvenir so that they can drop their money for us to help develop the country.
Now, Energy Minister Boakye Jako says the committee set up to investigate the Bost fuel contamination saga is almost ready with this report. He says government will soon issue a white paper on the report and then it will be made public. The minister was in Parliament to respond to questions over the fuel contamination saga at Bost, which occurred earlier this year. Let's go now to our parliamentary correspondent, Joseph Opoku-Gakpo, for some details. Joseph, welcome to the marketplace. Now, what exactly has the Energy Minister been saying?
So he says that they've put in various measures, including establishing a quality control sector, a quality control unit, which works together with organizations like the National Petroleum Authority, so that then they will go ahead and do all the necessary checks at various filling stations and even at the level of where the fuel is being transferred. For onward movements in the various markets to ensure that such contamination doesn't happen. He also indicated that a lot of training is ongoing when it comes to the personnel. And also he went on to make the point that they've issued very strict warnings to the companies that undertake the delivery when it comes to fuel. And they warn them that any of them that goes ahead and doesn't do anything appropriately and any form of negligence results in the contamination of the fuel which is sent out there will be blacklisted or punished up. Those warnings gone out and they are abiding by that. Just that have been put in place to avoid any such recurrence of the contamination.
Did he give any hint about punishing anybody involved in the previous event at Bost?
He indicated that this is something that they are leaving solely to the committee to the investigation. This was an 8-member committee or so that was established to help undertake investigation and make the necessary recommendations. He said that the committee is almost completing it clearly indicated that the work was actually ready. But then they took more time to be able to do some adjustments to the report that they put in, because they came to detect that some structural issues needed to be dealt with as well, and they needed outside expertise in order to come to a conclusion on those. So he said we would know what the punishment is possibly when the committee completes its work fully and hands over its report to the Energy Ministry, and that they will be making copies of those reports available to Parliament through the Mines and Energy Committee, and the public would know what the committee's recommendations are.
All right, thank you so much for your time, Joseph Opoku-Gakpo. Joseph joining us live from Parliament, where the Minister of Energy has announced that the committee set up to investigate the Boss Field contamination saga is ready to hand over its report to the Energy Ministry. Now, at the Commonwealth Games in 2018, his bamboo bicycles will feature prominently as the captain of the Ghana cyclist team pushes for gold. Having a sustainable structure in mind, Kwabena Danso had to change his non-governmental organization into a real business. With 4 workers at the beginning, he now has 40 employees. Boomers International has so far exported 2,500 bikes to Europe and the Americas. Odelia Ntiamwa takes us on a ride on this repeat of the Joy Business van.
At Apa in the Ashanti region of Ghana, this is where it all began. Having left the building in the past 3 years, there's still a real evidence that the company was once here. From a non-governmental organization, Boomers International moved from 4 workers to its current factory. The company makes bamboo bicycles, and its owner is Kwabena Danso. Bamboo bicycles! We so far have seen some of these bamboo bicycles in Canada, in Germany, and also in Holland. Well, they're trying to scale up to really take this bicycle international. It will be going for the Commonwealth Games as a Ghanaian decides to ride this bicycle. But I want to give you details about this company, so don't miss it. Let's go.
I realized there were a lot of problems in my community: high risk school dropout rate, unemployment, high teenage pregnancy, lack of opportunity for the youth. And you realize that a lot of the youth were actually migrating to Accra, Kumasi, trying to find jobs. And I grew up there, I saw these challenges, and at some point I decided, look, it's not time to complain again, it's about time to take action.
The process of making the bamboo starts from here. Cat bamboos are put together with a local delicacy, kokonte, and glue to make it stick together. Then twines and more glue is added to give this unique, sexy final look that the bicycle has. How did you know that, for instance, like the kokonte flour would be able to hold the whole bamboo together?
Yeah, you know, cassava itself is starchy.
Yeah.
So we realized that using that together with the resin epoxy will give us a perfect the binding we need, and that's why we decided to use it.
Sandpaper is applied to make the frames look smooth to meet international standards, with attention to detail. The national best cyclists movement inspects the frames ready for the international market. Marking the defects, Boomers International says meeting the international standard, it's its priority. Why is Moomin special? What makes him special?
So we've put Moomin at the quality control checks because he is a cyclist himself. Okay. He understands bikes, he understands cycling, he knows what a cyclist should look for in a bike. Yeah. He is currently the national cycling champion, and he will be going for the Commonwealth Games next year. So we are lucky to have him being at the factory with us, working on this project as well, and to be in charge of quality control because he understands what customers want, because he's a biker himself.
Boomers International has gone through several phases as a business, and Kwabena Danso says he has had to fire twice his whole workforce to get things right.
So at some point, I just said, look, when I realized that I needed to scale this thing up, I needed to do a rebrand, I needed to get everything right, I just said, look, I think this crop of people, if I'm bringing new people on board, is going to be another disaster because they're going to influence them. So at this point, I need to get all these people off. Bring in a new crop of young people, train them, give them a different mindset, and then let them work.
Boomers has grown from a current workforce of 4 workers to 40. So far, the company is the biggest bamboo bicycle making company in Africa, sending 1,200 bikes to the rest of the world in a year. Support for his business has mostly come from international investors with virtually no local support. Kwabena says the challenge for young businesses are daunting.
Minimum requirements, every requirement, so you have to be paying fee here and there. And in Ghana, one thing we don't do well is we don't even categorize between what is a small company, what is. We put everything in almost everybody in the same bracket. And this doesn't help with the small businesses because it takes a
on Wednesday with a repeat of the same program on the marketplace on Thursdays.